This camera is the lovely NIZO Heliomatic 8, an art deco styled movie camera made in Germany. Today we're going to learn how to thread this camera. The camera, an 8mm camera, uses 16mm film that will later be split into two strips so that you'll have an 8mm roll that's twice as long, 50 feet. So this is 16mm film that we're looking at right now. This beige color is the emulsion side. This is the base, the black side. The emulsion side must always face the front of the camera. So when you're loading or threading the camera, you need to verify as you do it that you have the film facing in the right direction. As you probably already know, this is the front where the lenses are. This is the back. On the back, you'll see this sliding button. If you slide it downward, you can open the camera like a suitcase. Usually, in an 8mm camera, or almost always, you'll find an empty reel. That's what remains from the last shooting episode. There it is. This roll full of film will be inserted there. So we take this out. That's where this will go. We're going to set it aside for the time being so that we'll have plenty of room to work. This is the spindle for the new roll of film. It goes through the camera like this, following a preset film path until it comes out and gets loaded on the empty reel. This is the film gate. The film gate opens like this. What we're going to do is simply insert the end of the film into the film gate. Usually you may have to open the film gate slightly to get it started. There you go. Now the film is in the film gate, and all we have to do is apply gentle pressure and push it all the way through the film gate. Look, there it is on the other side. Now what we will do is slide it a little bit farther so we get enough film to later thread onto this empty reel. Now we're starting with the full roll. And I want you to notice that it's very important that how this roll works. The film has to come off the bottom of the reel so that the beige side will end up facing the front. Now we're opening the latch that allows us to slip the film into the little slot right by the sprocket, so the sprocket teeth will engage the perforations in the film and lock it in place. Once it's on there, we can close this latch. And if you'll notice, now if I kind of gently pull the film, it doesn't go anywhere because those perforations are locked onto the sprocket. You'll also notice we have a loop here at the top. That loop is very important. In fact, you'll notice that it's so important that the path of that loop is clearly marked inside the camera. Now we're ready to put the top reel on the spindle. Sometimes it gets a little twisted and you have to turn the reel to get it flat. Now it's on there, you turn it and it drops on and you snug up the film. Now all we have left to do is to thread the bottom reel by running the film through the path. Here's the path, another loop, and then back through the gate. First, I will put the film on the reel. Now these reels are kind of a pain sometimes because they are made in different configurations. This one has a little tiny slot in it, and you have to stick the point of the film into that slot and then hang on to it so that it won't come loose. Just like this. Now I'm holding on to it with my finger, and I'm going to turn it a few turns so that it will stay on that empty reel. And now I'll open the bottom latch, and it doesn't open as far as the one for the top loop. Make sure that that film drops cleanly into the slot. And once it's in there with the perforations on the teeth, we can close that latch. And then we can put the reel on the spindle. Remember, you may have to rotate the reel slightly to make it drop into position. There you go. Now take a look at the loops. There's a loop at the top and a loop at the bottom. Those two loops are not fastened to anything. You can move them back and forth. You should make sure they're just about equal. And they should more or less align with the lines you see in the camera. Now I'm going to wind a few turns on the spring motor. Here we go. Wind, wind, wind. Oh boy. This is very exciting. Now when I press the button on the front of the camera, you'll see that the film moves and that the loops stay intact. They don't get bigger, they don't get smaller. That shows you that it is now threaded correctly and you're ready to close the camera and film. Should the loops disappear, then you'll know it is not threaded correctly and you must start all over. Now let's close it up gently and press down to latch it, and this camera is ready to go. Okay, that's about everything I can say about threading the NIZO Heliomatic camera, a great 8mm camera made in Germany. Oh, and by the way, as you can see, it comes with a 72-page instruction manual. Good luck.